So, you're in the pet food aisle, staring at this wall of bags. On one end, you've got the super cheap stuff, and on the other, these incredibly expensive, grain-free boutique brands. It's easy to think the best choice is either the cheapest to save money or the most expensive. Because, well, it has to be better, right? But here's the thing I've found after looking at this for a while. The best dog food, especially when we're talking about value, is almost never at those extremes. The real story isn't about the price on the bag. It's about what you're actually getting for your money. The metric that really matters here is the cost per serving. A cheaper bag might seem like a win, but if you have to feed your dog 3 cups a day to meet their nutritional needs, is it really a better deal than a slightly more expensive bag where you only need to feed 1.5 cups? This is where nutrient density comes in. It's the core principle of getting the most bang for your buck. We're not just buying volume, we're buying nutrition. It's a spec that isn't printed on the front of the bag, but it's arguably the most important one. And that leads directly into digestibility. Higher quality foods use better, more bioavailable ingredients. This means your dog's body can absorb and use more of the nutrients in the food. The result? You feed less, and there's less waste. So, that bag that looked a little pricier up front might actually last longer and provide better fuel for your dog. It's a classic case of the sticker price not telling the whole story. Today, we're going to break down the specs, look past the marketing, and figure out how to find the absolute best value in dry dog food. Alright, so to really understand the landscape, you have to know that the dog food market is basically broken down into 3 main tiers. Think of it like smartphones. You have your budget-friendly models, your solid mid-rangers, and your high-end flagships. The first tier is what I'd call the value or budget category. These are the bags you'll find in almost any grocery store, often with price tags under $40 for a large bag. Brands like Pedigree, Dog Chow, or Kibbles and Bits live here. Their main focus is providing basic, complete nutrition at the lowest possible price point, which is a totally valid goal. The trade-off, of course, is in the ingredients. To keep costs down, these formulas often rely heavily on corn, wheat, and soy as primary ingredients, with meat and bone meal or byproducts as the main protein sources. Now, it's important to note that these foods are formulated to meet the minimum nutritional standards set by AAFCO, so they will sustain a healthy adult dog. But the focus is on hitting those minimums, not necessarily optimizing for performance, digestibility, or specific health benefits. It's the functional, no-frills option that gets the job done for a lot of dogs and a lot of owners. Moving up, we hit the mid-range, which I also call the science tier. This is probably the most crowded and competitive space in the market. Here you'll find brands like Purina Pro Plan, Royal Canin, Hill's Science Diet, and IAMS. The price per bag starts to climb, maybe into the $50 to $75 range. The philosophy here is different. These companies invest heavily in research and development, running extensive feeding trials, and employing veterinary nutritionists. Their goal is to create highly consistent, targeted formulas for different life stages, breed sizes, and even specific health conditions. The ingredients in this tier are generally a step up. You'll see a named meat source like chicken, lamb, or salmon often listed as the first ingredient, though grains like corn and rice are still very common. But the key differentiator here isn't just the ingredient list, it's the science behind it. They focus on precise nutrient profiles, proven digestibility, and quality control. They argue that the specific ingredients matter less than the final nutritional output of the diet as a whole, and they have decades of research and millions of healthy dogs to back that up. This is the reliable, mainstream choice for many veterinarians and longtime dog owners. Finally, at the top, you have the premium or high-protein tier. This is your flagship category. We're talking about brands like Origin, Akana, Taste of the Wild, and a lot of the newer, direct-to-consumer brands like Open Farm. Prices here can easily push past $80 or even $100 for a large bag. The marketing and formulation philosophy is centered on being biologically appropriate or ancestral, aiming to mimic what a dog's wild ancestors might have eaten. This usually means a very high protein content, sourced from multiple, often exotic animal proteins, and a grain-free formula that uses legumes like lentils and peas instead. The appeal is a clean, simple, meat-first ingredient panel that's easy for consumers to understand and feel good about. So, we've got our tiers, but what are the actual tangible differences you're paying for as you move up? What are the key trade-offs? The first and most significant one is digestibility and the filler versus nutrient debate. In budget tier foods, ingredients like corn gluten meal, wheat middlings, and soybean hulls are often used. These are inexpensive and can help form the kibble, but they offer limited nutritional value for a dog. They're not bad in the sense of being harmful, but a dog's digestive system isn't optimized to extract a lot of energy from them. This is what people mean by fillers. In contrast, mid-range and premium foods focus on more digestible carbohydrate sources, like whole grain rice, barley, oats, or in the case of grain-free foods, sweet potatoes and lentils. These provide more readily available energy. The result is that a cup of premium food can contain significantly more usable calories and nutrients than a cup of budget food. This is why you often feed smaller portions of more expensive food. Better digestibility also means less digestive upset and smaller, firmer stools, which is a quality of life upgrade for any dog owner. It's a spec you can literally see and measure. Next up is protein quality, and this is a huge one. In a budget food, the protein might come from meat and bone meal or poultry byproduct meal. These are generic terms that can be inconsistent. Byproducts can include nutritious organ meats, but they can also include less desirable parts. The ambiguity is the main issue. As you move into the mid-range and premium tiers, you start seeing specific, named protein sources listed first. Deboned chicken, lamb meal, salmon. Chicken meal is actually a great, concentrated source of protein because the water has been removed, making it more protein-dense by weight than whole chicken. Premium brands take this even further, often using multiple high-quality animal proteins and boasting about the percentage of fresh or raw meat inclusions. Origin, for example, is famous for its whole prey ratios, including not just meat, but also organ meats and cartilage to provide a more complete nutrient profile naturally. The trade-off is cost and sometimes richness. These extremely high-protein, high-fat diets can be too rich for less active dogs and may lead to weight gain or digestive issues if not transitioned properly. It's like going from a daily driver to a supercar. You need to know if your dog's lifestyle actually requires that level of performance. Finally, there are the functional ingredients, the bonus features. These are things you'll rarely find in budget foods, but are standard in most mid-range and premium options. We're talking about omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, often from fish oil or flaxseed, which are crucial for healthy skin and a shiny coat. You'll also see glucosamine and chondroitin added for joint support, which is especially important for large breeds and senior dogs. And increasingly, you'll find probiotics and prebiotics included to support a healthy gut microbiome, which is linked to everything from digestion to immune health. These are the value adds you're paying for. They might not be essential for survival, but they are absolutely part of optimizing your dog's long-term health and well-being. Okay, so with all that information, how do you actually apply it in the real world? How do you stand in that aisle and make a smart decision? Here's the playbook. The first and most powerful tool you have is the feeding guide, printed on the back of every single bag. This is where the cost per serving calculation happens. Don't just compare the price of a 30-pound bag of brand A to a 30-pound bag of brand B. Look at the recommended daily cups for your dog's weight. Let's run the numbers. A $40 bag of budget food might recommend feeding 4 cups a day to your 50-pound dog. A $70 bag of a mid-range food might only recommend 2.5 cups a day for that same dog. Do the math. The cheaper bag provides fewer days of feeding and could actually cost you more per month. This simple check cuts through all the marketing and gives you a concrete, deductive point of comparison. It directly reflects the nutrient density and digestibility we were just talking about. This step alone will change the way you shop for dog food forever. Second, look for one specific, non-negotiable thing on the bag, the AAFCO statement. It will say something like, product name, is formulated to meet the nutritional levels established by the AAFCO dog food nutrient profiles for life stage. AAFCO, the Association of American Feed Control Officials, doesn't approve or certify foods, but it sets the nutritional standards. This statement is the manufacturer's way of saying they've formulated the food to meet these essential minimums. Without it, you have no guarantee the food is complete and balanced. There's an even better version of this statement that mentions animal feeding trials, which means the food was actually fed to dogs to ensure it performs as expected. That's the gold standard. Third, use what I call the first 5 rule. The ingredients on a dog food label are listed by weight from most to least. The first 5 ingredients, therefore, make up the bulk of what's in the bag, so just read the first 5. In a quality food, you want to see a specific named protein source, like chicken, lamb meal, or salmon, as the very first ingredient. This indicates that the foundation of the food is a quality animal protein. If the first ingredients are things like corn, wheat, or byproduct meals, you know you're looking at a food that prioritizes cost saving over nutrient density. This isn't a perfect rule, of course. Some high-quality grains or vegetables can appear in the top 5 of a great food. But it's an incredibly effective quick check to gauge the manufacturer's formulation philosophy. Are they starting with high-quality protein, or are they starting with cheaper carbohydrates and fillers? It gives you a snapshot of the food's core identity. Combine this with checking the feeding guide and looking for the AAFCO statement, and you have a powerful 3-step process to identify true value and make a confident, informed choice for your dog. So, after breaking it all down, where do we land? What's the final verdict on the best bang for your buck? If you're looking for the best overall value, that sweet spot of proven science, high-quality ingredients, and a reasonable cost per serving, it's really hard to beat the top mid-range brands. For my money, that's going to be something like Purina Pro Plan or Royal Canin. They have decades of research, extensive quality control, and specific formulas that just work for a massive range of dogs. They represent a smart, safe, and reliable investment in your dog's health without breaking the bank. But what if you're on a tighter budget? You still have great options. The goal is to find the best in that budget tier, and for that, I'd look at brands like Nature's Recipe or Purina One. They often feature a named meat as the first ingredient, but keep costs down with smart use of grains, striking a much better balance than the ultra-cheap grocery store brands. Conversely, if you prioritize performance above all else, maybe you have a canine athlete or a dog with specific sensitivities, and budget is less of a concern, then the premium tier is where you should be. Brands like Open Farm or Origin offer incredible ingredient quality and protein density that are unmatched. Ultimately, the biggest takeaway here should be to change your metric for value. Stop looking at the price per bag and start calculating the price per day or per serving. Look at the feeding guides, check for that AAFCO statement, and read the first 5 ingredients. When you start comparing foods based on what they deliver nutritionally for every dollar you spend, the entire landscape changes. The best food is the one that fits your budget while giving your dog the high-quality fuel they deserve. So, hopefully this helps you make a better choice next time you're in that aisle. Peace.